A personal relationship with God. What's more priceless than a personal relationship with God? Having a personal relationship with God means having a faithful friend who's always there, always loving, and always knows just what to do. And what could be more important to have when life's storms hit? When the world feels overwhelming? Can we even imagine how scary life would be if all we had to navigate our storms was ourselves without God, and we didn't know which way to go? These thoughts remind me of the time when I was in the Boundary Waters canoe area on the Minnesota-Canada border. I was enjoying some quiet time with God. The sunny sky above me deeply contrasted with the dark storm clouds that blotted out all the light in the distant horizon. From my camp that was high on a hill that overlooked the lake, I watched the wind blow a giant storm toward me. Suddenly, from out of nowhere, 3 canoes rounded the bend in the lake just below me. The waves pushed the canoes forward, and they were too far away for me to warn them of the storm. I watched helplessly as the seemingly unaware Boy Scouts paddled past my camp while their leader slept in the middle of a canoe. Their canoes slithered like snakes, sliding left and right through the water as the boys struggled in an effort to make them go straight. Everyone wore life jackets, and I couldn't help but notice how some of them held their canoe paddles like shovels, and some like oars in a rowboat. Soon the wind started to howl and whip the water into whitecaps across the big lake. I looked out with my binoculars and saw the 3 canoes vanish into 3 different directions, unable to maintain their course against the power of the waves. There's no doubt the boys would have been wet, cold, and scared. It was near certain that each canoe would eventually swamp against a rocky shore where they would be forced to spend the stormy night unsheltered and all alone in the dark woods. It would be a long, cold, and truly hellish way to learn about the great outdoors. Like these boys, many of us have experienced dark and troubled times when we've been overwhelmed by storms in life. Without being trite, let's consider some practical advice to manage these storms. Number 1, remember, there cannot be courage unless you're first afraid. Number 2, remember that whatever storm you're facing, like all storms, it shall also pass. And number 3, know deep in your heart that every storm of life gets us the opportunity to grow in our personal relationship with God, because every storm reminds us of just how small, fragile, and needy each of us really are. We are little and finite, and there can be absolutely no doubt of our need for God. It might also be wise to consider the Boy Scout motto, to be prepared. Those boys could have handled even the worst wind and waves if only they had taken the time to learn how to paddle a canoe properly using the appropriate J strokes, C strokes, and draw strokes. Perhaps we too can be better prepared for the inevitable storms that will come into our lives. To do so, we need to take the time in advance of the storm to learn the most important stroke of all: how to have a deep and personal relationship with God. Jesus described the wise man, the man who was prepared and ready for the storm, as someone who built his house upon the rock of God's word. When we're truly anchored in Jesus, we can and will survive absolutely any storm.